Hi, this is Sophia Cartman, host of the Dream Big podcast show. Place to learn, laugh, and grow.
And this is Olga Cartman. Welcome to the Dream Big podcast.
I'd like to start this episode off with a quote from Doris Brown Heritage, Women's Distance Running. When you put yourself on a line in a race, you're exposed to things unknown, and you learn things about yourself that are very exciting.
This is exactly what this episode is about because Sophia is about to tell you how she traveled across the world to
Siberia
and participated in a race. Make sure to stay till the very end because you know what time it is. This is episode 320 of the Dream Big podcast.
And it's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Well, you're probably wondering from our introduction how Sophia from Hawaii ended up all the way in Siberia.
And let me tell you the story. So my mom and me decided it's time for me to see my grandparents in a very, 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 very long time. I saw them when I was a baby, but I have no memory whatsoever how they are.
The only problem is that they live all the way in Siberia and we were in Hawaii. So we thought long and hard and we thought, well, we do have 3 weeks before the school starts for kids. And we thought, why don't we just jump on the plane and go to Siberia? How many planes did we jump on, Sophia?
Like 4.
We took 4 airplanes to get to Siberia because it's really far. And for some of younger big dreamers who never heard of Siberia, it's part of Russia and it's in the middle of Russia. So we took the airplane from Hawaii to Los Angeles, stayed there here in Los Angeles, where our home base is, one night. Then we took another airplane to go to
Turkey.
Then we took another airplane to go to
Moscow.
Then we took another airplane to go to
Krasnoyarsk,
which is the city in Siberia. Then we had another crazy idea.
We went to this hiking adventure in the mountains of Siberia. We drove 8 hours, I think.
8 hours in the car. It's called West Sion Mountains, where a lot of people, amazing athletes, participated in the mountain races. We went there as a company for our friends, and we didn't even know that Sophia will be participating in the race.
On the very last day we were there, they decided to have a little race for our kids. It was a lemonade drinking race, but sparkling.
So Sophia didn't expect any running at all. She didn't have much experience in races before and was a little bit shocked and confused. Either she should participate or not.
When my mom announced I was going to be in a race, I was like, no, not for me. I've just done gymnastics and I've never done any race. No. And that's when I learned my first lesson. Don't quit before you start.
You see, sometimes your mind questions you before you start something new. And we had many episodes about that before. At the end of the podcast, we'll definitely refer you to some where we talked with Eva and Sophia about fears and about unknown things. You see, Sophia never participated in anything like this before. Sophia, you've done gymnastics, you've done other competitions, little competitions here and there, but nothing like a race, right?
No, I felt excited. I was nervous and excited and also very confused.
What you were confused about?
I was confused, like, why did you do this to me? Why? When? How?
Would they say pretty much you quit before you started?
Yes, you would.
I would say this is our first lesson.
Don't quit before you start. That's the only rule in life. When you really want to do something, don't quit.
Sophia, what helped you to get over that quitting moment?
Well, now that I felt, don't quit. Just keep on moving. If you can't run, walk. If you can't run, crawl. I mean, that's what we did when we were a baby, right?
And the competition was all about running kind of how many
Three
it's like a
rounds.
mile, right? 3 rounds. Okay. So it was maybe half a mile in total, but it was 3 rounds. And each run you come to the table and you grab a drink, you drink some lemonade and you run again. And Sophia was concerned that she will fall, she will get hurt. And you did ask me, actually, remember? Mom, but what if I fall?
My mom said, don't quit if you fall down. Just keep on moving. It doesn't matter if you're first or last. Just keep on moving.
When we were little, how many times did we fall? But we would still get up and we would keep going. And that's the most important lesson in life. Don't assume things. Don't quit before you start, because it actually might end up being fun.
Yeah, it might. And then you'll be like, maybe your friends did it with you. And maybe they'll be like, the race was so fun. I won first place. Maybe you would have won third or second.
Do the smallest bit possible and you'll be surprised. And as Sophia, as you just said, when you're doing it with friends, it's always better.
Yes, it is always better. By the way, I had my friends there. One girl and one boy. There's the girls winning and the boys winning. And I won for the girls.
And there is a second lesson here from the same race.
And the second lesson is we're better together. As I mentioned before, I was with 2 of my friends. And one of my friends already won. And I was super happy for them. But what happened to me? And me and my friends were just giggling and starting. Even though, let's say I fell down a couple times, I just got right up again, like my mom told me.
Better together is a very cool slogan because it simply means that when other people are in our lives, we'll thrive. The same happened in the race. When you were unsure, when you were about to quit, and when you saw your friends, how did you feel?
I felt better. I mean, at least if I didn't win, they'd win.
And you would still celebrate, right?
Yeah, of course. Even if you didn't win, you got medals and a bracelet.
Big Dreamers, we're all social human beings, and friends keep you accountable. Sometimes when you don't feel like going, they can cheer you up. Sometimes when you feel like giving up or quitting, they still keep going and you want to catch up with them. It works like that in a race, and it also works like that in life. Your classmates keep you accountable. Is it much more fun to go to school, Sophia, when you have friends over?
Of course. Mom, I also think it's important not to compare. I mean, we're all good in different ways. I mean, some people are good at gymnastics, singing, dancing, and that's something that everybody can be good at. Everybody has their special something. Many people, it's not running, and that's okay.
The most important part is participation. And in our day and age, it's so easy to start comparing yourself to the images online on TikTok or Instagram or somewhere else or in the competition. But we advise you, big dreamers, and we suggest not to compare because we know that you're talented in your own right. Maybe it's not running, maybe it's not singing, maybe it is dancing. Remember that you're unique.
Mom, I'd say comparison is the thief of joy.
I agree, Sophia.
All that comparison does is make people feel bad. And if someone's faster than you, that's okay. And someone's slower than you, everything will be slower, faster in life. You just gotta accept it. In life, your mission is to live up to your own potential. Make your big dreams come true. And that's one of the things we love at the Dream Big podcast.
This, Sophia, reminded me of Eva's episode 256 when she asked our big dreamers the best question.
What was it, Mom?
What did you fail at this week?
What?
You have to follow the link in the description of this podcast or go to dreambigpodcast.com/256 to find out what was her answer.
Mom!
Yes, big dreamers. And you, Sophia, we all gonna go to the episode 256 after this one ends, and we'll find out what was it.
I'm serious. What?
Let's go to the third lesson.
And the third lesson I learned was recognize and appreciate joyful moments. Big dreamers, if you're in a race or with your parents at the beach or walking in the park or even going to Build-A-Bear and getting a new toy, close your eyes and soak it in. Pause. If you can feel when you do it, remember, smile, laugh, and appreciate and be thankful for life. Embrace the moment and remember it for years to come. I also realized that winning doesn't always mean getting first place. It means getting the best out of yourself. Mom, I still remember us picking up little tiny berries in the forest. I said yum. They're a little bit sour and a little bit sweet. Just like me and my sister combined. Sour, sweet.
I remember the moments of you running in those Siberian beautiful mountains and this fresh air. Yes, cold rivers, but they were crisp and the air was filled with love and joy and bright yellow flowers.
And we got to drink from the actual stream water. Seriously, I ran out of water in like 5 seconds.
In waterfall. Remember the waterfall?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe for Sophia, it wasn't only about the race, but about the whole experience when she participated in that race. And for me to see her on my motherland was such a joy to my heart. And that filled me up for years and years to come. And this was very, very special trip, special bond that we created, right?
You know what I remember? My cousin Sophia.
That's right.
Was hysterical.
I think we will create few more episodes from that trip. We have so many lovely memories about everything else.
Yeah, we do.
So, big dreamers, remember those 3 simple lessons of life that Sophia learned from the race, but you can apply it in any area of your life. First one, don't quit before you start.
Second, we're better together.
And third, recognize and appreciate joyful moments.
And of course, big dreamers, we have a challenge for you today. And it's called, drum roll please, the running game.
Of course, what else could we suggest on an episode about running? We know that kids are natural runners, but sometimes they need fun running challenges for motivation to get moving, right, Sophia?
Of course, and these challenges are pretty fun. Maybe it's running in a bag game or the bag hop.
Or just with the bag. Just with the bag. In our case, we're offering you run with the bag. You can take a brown paper bag because you're going to be running around, and inside of that inside of that brown bag will be few pieces of paper, and adults can write down destinations where you should run. So you can play this game even by yourself or with a sibling, with a friend, at the park, around the block. Just make sure there are no cars around and you're supervised by adults. So in that bag, you take few pieces of paper, you write down destinations. For example, run to the playground or to the pool or cone or
Country.
or I don't know, grocery store. Just kidding. Grab a couple of dozens of eggs and run back. Just kidding. But what you need is a brown paper bag, small pieces of paper with different landmarks of all locations written on them. And this is how you play it. It's best played outdoors, of course. If you don't have outdoor big area, fine, play indoor. Just ask permission from your parents. And small pieces of paper gonna be inside of the bag. You pull one piece of paper, you see location, you run as fast as you can. And the first person who will reach the destination will get a chance to choose another piece of paper with another landmark. Or you can take turns between each other and decide that each of you will take one paper out at each new location. This way, it will be fun. It will be lots of memories that you can create. You can also combine it with scavenger hunt. Maybe at each location, adults can hide something cool for you. And at each location, you can find few things.
Me and my friend recently had a scavenger hunt. And I want a toy that I super duper wanted for a really long time. So one day my mom said, it's time for your scavenger hunt. And who's I brought? As I mentioned a little bit later, my friend Shayna.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was so fun.
So that was just one idea. And thank you, Sophia, for sharing your addition to this idea. You guys can decide on your own. You can also Google running games. And if you have more than 2-3 kids with you, you can play different games. So that's one of our suggestions. So you can see how you can apply all those 3 lessons that we shared with you today in this fun running game.
I think that's a wrap, Mom. Yeah?
I think you're right, Sophia. I think our big dreamers, it's time for you to start running. Start running. They're going to start running away from the devices and do what we ask them to do. Big dreamers, if you enjoyed this episode, please tell your family and friends about Dream Big Podcast. We would really, really appreciate it. And you can point them to dreambigpodcast.com/320 for this episode's show notes.
If everybody listening could just tell one person about the Dream Big Podcast, just one person, that'd mean the world to me.
Yes, and please follow our podcast on social media, on Instagram, on iTunes, and maybe you can take a moment and write us a review on iTunes. We do read your reviews, and it helps us to get in front of more big dreamers, which is our mission.
Please join us at Instagram at Dream Big Podcast. My mom posted some stories of Siberian adventures we had.
Yes, and we created some reels from Siberia. Please go check them out.
I forgot to tell you, big dreamers, as the cherry on top, I won 3rd place in the Russian race. I'm glad I didn't quit.
I think that's all the announcements for today, Sophia, right?
Yeah. As always, thank you so much for listening. This is Sophia Cartman.
And Olga Karpman.
Reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action. Turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life was meant to be. See you in the next episode. Bye.